Welcome to Rabbit Hole Roundtable Talks, your go to spot for everything trending on the internet. We've got a little bit of everything: positive news, weird and quirky stories from around the world, and the latest buzz from Reddit, mostly Twitter, YouTube, and more. Every week, we've got something fresh for you, whether it's a heartwarming story, bizarre discoveries, or viral moments you won't want to miss. Hit subscribe and stay tuned for a mix of fun, weird, and awesome content every day with me, MK, and
Hunted.
hell yeah. All right, so today we're going to be diving into some stories trending on Reddit. I got two stories. We have one from Am I Overreacting and one from Am I the Balloon Not Whole? So let's get into the first story. Am I overreacting? My boyfriend JO'd to me in my sleep. So last night, my 25-year-old female boyfriend, 28-year-old male, and I went out with some friends. I had a few drinks, and then we came back home and I had a couple more and was feeling pretty tipsy. I've had a problem with moderation before and not knowing when to stop, and he's very aware of this. We watched a movie together and I fell asleep during the end of it. Then we went to bed and I don't remember much at all after that. He hadn't been drinking as he hadn't been drinking as much. I had a total of 2 beers the whole night. So I know he wasn't drunk at all. Assumptions. Just kidding. When I woke up in the morning, I see an open bottle of lube on our nightstand, which definitely wasn't there before, and a wrapper for protection on the floor. You know, I'll say after. I was basically naked. When I asked him what happened, he said he was trying to have relations with me, and I kept telling him no and that I was too tired. I don't remember any of this. He then says that he proceeded to use the protection to pleasure himself. I was grabbing my body while I was sleeping and basically using my buttocks to make himself release. He told me like it was the most normal thing in the world. Very matter of fact. Am I overreacting by being upset that he did this? I'm feeling so numb right now. What say you?
Wait. What in the title it said that he JO'd to her?
Well, it seemed like he did it to her and using her as a prop as well.
But sorry, Samantha. I have a problem with like using the wrong words in places. So he
Hmm.
basically used her to JO.
Yeah,
He used her butt. I feel like
yeah.
that's
But technically, I don't think he like put it between the cheeks or anything. I think he just was like squeezing it while doing his thing.
oh. Uh, I I'll say if she's truly uncomfortable, then she's not overreacting. Those are her feelings and they're valid.
Yep.
And I feel like because she was sleeping as well, it's again not right. He could probably just like look and just use memories or fantasies and stuff like that without actually being like, let's use the word invasive to her when she's like basically unaware.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a pretty cut and dry case. I don't really have much to add. I agree with what you just said.
What were you
I
gonna say
think
before when you stop
I was
yourself?
gonna say that I don't like that on YouTube or other sites you can't just use words.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I feel like when you, I understand, of course, if you're being crass and you're being very graphic,
yeah.
that can make people uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like euphemisms. I don't like political correctness. I mean, I do like political correctness, but I don't like euphemism. You know, there's a guy, I forget his name, George. He's a comedian. What's his name? George Orwell? No, that's not his name. Anyway, there's a comedian who basically made a joke about this where he was talking about People can't say the word death. They have to say he passed away and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, why though? Like, dying is a natural part of the human experience. We should be able to talk about it without like sugarcoating it and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And basically, I don't know. My issue with it isn't like that I don't want other people to feel comfortable
Yeah.
when having conversation with them. My issue is that it waters down the human experience when we can't talk frankly about it.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. But anyway, out of respect for YouTube's TOS and all that, I will abide by the rules, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think that the issue that here is that one, Sheree didn't give her consent,
Yeah.
and two, he still involved her in it against her will.
Yeah.
And it would have been maybe it wouldn't have been so bad if he only just looked at her,
Yeah.
but the fact that he was groping on her and doing all this extra stuff, I
Yeah.
think that I would also feel well. I'm different because I'm a guy, and two, uh, there's a thing called free use, and I'm open to that. But I've told my person in advance that I am.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't told your person in advance, then you can't assume
Mhm.
that. You have to have a conversation. I think that's the main thing. A lot of people in general forget to communicate beforehand and after.
I wouldn't call it, I won't say like entitled just because I don't know the situation, but it's like a false sense of entitlement where it's like, well, you're my person, I should be able to do these things to you. You know,
Right.
like the lines between like what you can and can't do kind of get blurred when you have like your person, because like, well, we do this anyways, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excuse me. And that's a weird thing too, because when you get married, I think a lot of married people have that kind of mentality. It's like, well, we're married, so
Yeah,
your body is mine now.
yeah,
But the reality is still you still have to get consent from your wife or your husband.
yep,
Again, unless you have a free use agreement ahead of time that
yeah,
you've discussed the boundaries of that as well.
yep,
So, so yeah, this one was pretty cut and dry, I think. But let us know in the comments what you guys think and try to keep it civil,
yes.
especially if you're contrary to what everybody else is saying. All right. So the next story is Am I the butthole? Am I the a hole for not putting my husband's name on gifts I bought on my own? I, 27-year-old female, have been married to my husband, a 29-year-old male, for 3 years, and we've been together since we were 18 and 19. The first wait, hold up, that math don't make sense. Oh, sorry, they've been married for 3 years. Okay. The first 2 years we had been together, when we were still pretty young and our relationship was new, we bought Christmas gifts separately, except in some rare cases. But when we got pretty serious, we started making gifts from the both of us to other people. Since then, he has not once helped me buy the gifts. That includes gifts for my family, our friends, but even gifts for his family. Occasionally, he would give me some ideas as to what the person would want, but that was still pretty rare, and the ideas he gave were most of the time very vague. And even when he gave me ideas, I was the one that bought the gifts and went Christmas shopping alone. I was fine with it at the beginning as I really enjoyed gift giving and finding the perfect ideas for everyone, but it's been 8 years of this and it's getting pretty exhausting. I've also evolved in my career since we got together and now have way less free time to spend buying gifts. So last year, I asked before the holiday season if he could help this year and we'd each buy some of the presents out of maybe 20 people we bought gifts for. He bought only one, and he told me that he would take care of it until the very last minute, but eventually forgot. So I had to buy his sister and mother a present less than 24 hours before Christmas. After that, I told him that I now expected help because this could not happen again, as it was mentally and physically exhausting for me. So this year, I bought half the gifts, and he was supposed to buy the other half. He didn't. Yesterday, I spent 7 hours at the mall trying to find the rest of the gifts, and he was no help. I sometimes called him to ask if the person would like a gift, if they already had it, or what he thought, and he mostly said, I don't know, maybe, and whatever. I also have to add that I'm 6 months pregnant, so this was extremely exhausting. When I got home, I was angry and tired, and while wrapping the presents, I decided that since he didn't help at all, I wouldn't put his name on the presents. Usually write something like from Mary and John, but I just wrote from Mary. Today, as we were, that's not the real names, by the way. Today, as we were packing all the gifts in the car to go to his parents' house, he noticed that his name wasn't on it. I explained it to him and said that he didn't help, so he didn't get credit for what I bought. He keeps saying that it's unfair and that I'm gonna make him look bad and asks that I change it. I don't know if I should. Maybe this is petty, but I don't know what else to do. I've asked for help many times and I'm just afraid he's never going to change. Should I put his name? Am I mean for this? How can I make him understand how much I need help?
So full disclosure, he sound like me.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Let's
cause
get into it.
I I buy gifts for my neutral family. Well, my
Mhm.
nuclear family, sorry, and then the rest is just my wife will handle that. I mean, there have been times when I do like put effort in, like help buy it, help look for it, and stuff like that. But for the most part, I don't know what it is. Like I have a disconnect when it comes to like holidays and Christmas and stuff like that. It's just like I'm not
Same.
as into it as everybody else because it's lost a lot of its meaning to me. But I know like
Mm,
specific things. So I'm a good gift giver. So if I know that you need something or you've talked about something, then that will put an urge in me to go do that. But besides that, it's like I don't know what to do, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I could relate. For me, it's a different reason. It's mostly because I don't feel like I have any money for gifts.
That too.
But if I felt like I had money, then no, I can't relate. But I can relate with the part about like feeling disconnected from like celebrating holidays and stuff. I'm not really big on like traditions and stuff like that. Like I'm more the person who I'll go along with it,
Yeah.
but I'm not the one like pushing for it or like planning it or like you know what I mean, getting excited for it. Except for maybe Christmas, because Christmas is my favorite holiday simply for the music. I love Christmas music.
Gotcha.
Um, but even put up a Christmas tree is like, I gotta pop this stupid tree again and have to take it down like
Yeah.
the next day, pretty much. Like,
No, it stays up until like January.
is it until January? The last time I was stayed up until February 30.
Yeah, you see
But
like January, February.
stay up until the end of winter basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only holiday like I really don't feel that bad about. And then, Valentine's you kind of have to
Guys have
because
to.
you have to.
It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Father's
even though
Day.
you
It's
even
like
though you tell them you love them every day, you still have to do that anyway. But
exactly. And
yeah,
that's the thing with Christmas too. Like Christmas and even though Thanksgiving has like a dark like beginning, what it's become is like, family, spend time together, stuff like that with like
hmm
a heap of cooking, heap of cleaning. And Christmas is supposed to be family as well, but it's like you have to buy a gift and you have to be like expensive. It's not about the thought anymore. It's like
yeah,
gonna get yeah. But
yeah,
with the addition to the story, knowing that she was with child, there's no way I'll let my wife do that by herself or even at all with child. So that
right,
just pushed the scale even more. So that's the part that's
right.
not anything like me at all.
I agree. That's crazy.
Insane.
I don't think men understand how much goes into making a baby, like the toll it takes on a woman's body.
Yeah.
I'm not a woman, but I was raised by a woman. I'm interested in a lot of stuff about women, and I have a wife who is a doula, and she does a lot of stuff with women's health. So she taught me about this stuff. So I know a lot about this stuff, and I also watched a video about this recently, which was like, imagine imagine running a marathon while cooking, cleaning, uh, going to work, etc., etc.
Yeah,
Basically, that's like what it is to like have a baby inside of you because it's like sucking all your like all your calories, it's sucking all your energy
yeah,
on top of like your body internally changing, etc.
yeah.
It's a hot mess. You want your wife to be as comfortable as possible, especially if you care about having a healthy child.
Indeed.
So I don't know what's going on with that guy. He just don't get he don't care.
Yeah, he wild in, man. He like, yeah. I don't know if they like that or not, man. What you call me for? Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
really?
he's like, I did my part. I'm here.
And
Like
like
this.
this year, I was like, you know what? This gonna be the last year that I'm so like not doing it. Next year, I'll
Okay,
plan
fine.
ahead. I'll save up, and I'll be a part of it. But he did it for 8 years, so that's another wake up call for me. Like, 8 years is a lot, and if she's been saying something every year, 8 years is a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand her too. Like at first it was okay
Yeah, of course.
because he enjoyed it,
Yeah.
you know. But when life gets serious, you have more responsibilities.
Yep.
You, you gotta share the load.
Yeah. At least
So
go. At least be
yeah,
there.
I don't think she's the a-hole for this. I
No.
think he is really and truly.
Yep.
And it's hard. I think they should go to therapy because she's communicating it to him, but maybe he doesn't understand how like the magnitude that it's affecting her.
Probably.
Because maybe to him it's not that important, or like maybe to him it's like this is how it's always been. Like why are things
Yeah.
changing now?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Like forget about the baby, and every year
Right,
doing this. What's
right,
what's what's
right.
your issue?
Yeah. Uh, but all right. In the comments, you tell us what you think. Is she the a-hole or is she not the a-hole? Is he the a-hole? What would you do in the situation if you were him or if you were her? All right. So before we go, I have a task for you guys. Besides leaving a comment, right? I want you guys to drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share the video, and keep watching. Stay tuned for more.